Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And before I get into the subject of this video, this is a message specifically for the editorial staff at YouTube who take down videos that they think are not meeting community standards. This article is from a mainstream media online paper. And the CDC, referred to here, is the Center for Disease Control in the United States of America. They are the authority in America. Trump has just broken ties with the World Health Organization. So, YouTube suggests that the World Health Organization are the Holy Grail. Nuh-uh. America is running with the CDC. And this is what the CDC are saying. So if YouTube take this video down because it contravenes community standards, because maybe the WHO doesn't agree with it, well, that would be absolutely disgusting. Let's get into the story. The mainstream media is ignoring the fact that the CDC has admitted the death rate for COVID-19 is actually lower than the flu. This is happening as the media admits that the antibody tests are wrong 50% of the time. Yeah, you know those famous tests? 50% of the time they are wrong. This is the CDC. I've just told you who they are. The scamdemic fear-mongering is ongoing and the propaganda is getting worse daily, even as their own data shows otherwise. Instead of giving the public the facts, the media continues to push for an extended lockdown, freedom-trampling regulations, mass surveillance, and our permanent enslavement for their political overlords. Ron Paul Institute for Peace and Prosperity said the following: the CDC just came out with a report that should be earth-shattering to the narrative of the political class. Yet it will go into the thick pile of vital data and information about the virus that is not getting out to the public. For the first time, the CDC has attempted to offer a real estimate of the overall rate for COVID-19, and under it, most likely scenario, the number is 0.26%. Remember, it was touted to be about 3% or something like that in the past. It's less than 1/10 of that, the death rate. Until now, we have been ridiculed for thinking the death rate was that low, as opposed to the 3.4% estimate of the World Health Organization, which is the Bible for YouTube. Now, who's pushing fake news here? WHO. The WHO helped drive the panic and the lockdowns. Now the CDC is agreeing to the lower rate in plain ink. This is still the Ron Paul Institute article that I'm reading from. Plus, ultimately, we might find out that the IFR is even lower because numerous studies and hard counts of confined populations have shown a much higher percentage of asymptomatic cases. Simply adjusting for a 50% asymptomatic rate would drop their fatality rate to 0.2%, exactly the rate of fatality Dr. John Ioannidis of Stanford University projected. Now, again, because this is not the WHO, YouTube are going to say this is fake. Well, I know who I believe. I'm actually going to put a link to this article directly below this video in the description. So if a YouTube moderator comes sniffing around because there's a report about this video, guys, look at the link directly below this video before you pull this video. Anyway, let's get back to what the Ron Paul Institute for Peace and Prosperity say. They say, more importantly, as I mentioned before, the overall death rate is meaningless because the numbers are so lopsided. Given that at least half of the deaths were in nursing homes, a back-of-the-envelope estimate would show that the infection fatality rate for non-nursing home residents would only be 0.1% or 1 in 1,000, and that includes people of all ages and all health statuses outside of nursing homes. Since nearly all of the deaths are those with comorbidities. Comorbidities where people have some kind of an ailment which makes them more susceptible to things like lung infections and heart attacks and stuff like that. So basically they're people who are on the risky scale anyway. Getting back to this. This is something most people have known relatively early on, as the government continued to inflate the numbers and call for every death a COVID-19 casualty, so they could commit economic terrorism on the entire planet. And whose antibody tests the ruling class wants us to take before we can even think about coming off house arrest? Those are only right half the time. How did CNN spin this into fear porn and propaganda? Check it out. CNN said, serologic test results should not be used to make decisions about returning persons to the workplace. CNN said, serologic tests results should not be used to make decisions about returning persons to the workplace. Health officials or health care providers who are using antibody tests need to use the most accurate test they can find and might need to test people twice, the CDC said in the new guidance. So you can't be free, which is your birthright, because their tests are inaccurate. It's actually quite shocking. People are even agreeing to these tests in the first place, all to pad the numbers for this scandemic that has been little more than a hoax since day one. This has become so blatantly ridiculous that it's actually hard to believe there's anybody there still supporting the government and their puppets in the mainstream media. They want you to still be afraid. They need you to live in fear. Do not comply. Now, it's interesting because just yesterday, I had another video pulled by YouTube. And it was to do with that cardiologist who suggested that nicotine, medicinal nicotine, could actually help prevent the COVID-19 virus causing more harm to the human body. Now, that didn't go down well with YouTube, did it? So they pulled my video. They didn't give me a community strike, but they said, watch it, buddy boy, watch it, watch it, watch it. You've got to keep within the community standards. Now, where do you draw the line with community standards? If you type in the name of this cardiologist, which I'll put directly below this video, do a search on YouTube on this guy's name. There are dozens of videos where he's actually talking to different people about exactly the topic that YouTube pulled my video down about. This is how chaotic the moderation is on YouTube. Some people have their videos pulled like that. Other people, they leave them up. It's a complete load of crap, this moderation of videos on YouTube. That's my point of view. And this cardiologist video that was pulled down, perfect example of what I'm talking about. All right, guys, I'm actually going to show you the message or the email I got from YouTube where they actually say they're pulling down this video of mine because it doesn't meet community standards. Someone referred this video to them and complained about it. Oh, bless my little cotton socks. Oh, I bet it's a libtard. All right, here comes the email from YouTube that I received yesterday. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.